Robert Ho. I'm your bargaining chair. I've been bargaining with Jen now for over 10 years, and this is my third year as a bargaining chair. And so, their district's proposal is for a 0% salary increase. We're bargaining for year 16, 17, 17, 18, a 2-year contract right now. And recently, they're asking us for a cap on their contribution for health and welfare, and that is based on flat funding and increase in the district's expenditures. Now, this is a slide I know it's a lot of spreadsheet, but this is the information about the district's projections. Okay, and so recently, their most recent projection, the information that was just released last Friday, is projecting that we're going to have a decrease of our ending balance from $27 million down to $16 million, and the following year down to $85,000, and the next year we're really going to be bankrupt. We're going to have a negative $9.8 million, and then those numbers are not enough to sustain our mandatory 3% in terms of having that money in our unrestricted reserve. So our district is proposing that for next year we're going to cut, I believe, $12 million, and the following year another $24 million. And so they're really, really scared, and that is the reason why they're imposing that cap on health insurance. And then they're even asking us to take even for a concession to have them balance the books. But if you look at this column right here, those are the 2-month out projections. I'm not going to make you read all through that, but just look at this. Last year, this has got to be, around April or so, okay, April, May, they're projecting our ending balance for our district was $18.5 million. We're having, what, $27 million. So there's an error of projection, even 2 months before they close their books, by $8 million. Okay, so I keep on pointing out that really they have been right there about their projections in terms of what's posted on the website, 0 out 8 times. By not a small figure, we're talking about millions and millions of dollars. Okay, and that's where I'm sticking to my point is that we're going to bargain year to year. Okay, and based on what we're asking for ODA, they can afford it. Now, if it's the situation that's as dire as our district projects, we're going to be responsible as we have 6-7 years ago. You guys remember the 5-day furlough days that we took for 2 years? Okay. What's not included in the first interim, like I understand, it's a projection. Okay. So there are some possible increases in revenue, and we'll know for sure what the Governor Brown is going to do with that money in his January budget proposal. We know from LAO, okay, it's the Legislative Analyst Office is a nonpartisan government agency that informs our legislature in terms of what kind of money is coming into for our state. Okay, so based on the Prop 98 minimum guarantee, there's a certain percentage our state has to spend on education. They're projecting that for this year, the whole state is going to get about $651 million more for this year. We don't know what that means for public education, okay, but we know we're definitely for this year we're giving some more money. Next year, they're projecting that we're going to get another $5.3 billion, okay, for public education. What does that mean? The LCFF gap funding, we're funded about 97% right now. They're projecting that we have enough money to fully fund LCFF. For our district, that could be anywhere, depending on ADA, anywhere from $3 to $8 million more. After that, they believe that they can still fund another 1.8% increase in COLA. Okay, and after that, they'll still have $2.6 billion left over, okay, to do whatever they want in terms of any public education priority. So that money is coming in based on the projections. Stock market is doing well. Housing market is still doing pretty well, right? Okay, and so the idea is, and before our bargaining session on the 16th, that information should be out. Okay, in the last 5 years, our governor has that January budget proposal out by January 10th. Okay. Well, the idea is the sky is not falling as they're projecting. Okay, so here's an impact. Assuming, and this is the assumption they're making, that our district is looking at Aetna's renewal rate for this year, it's going to be a 7.5% renewal rate. Now, assuming that we do take that cap, We'll just stop. We call it. We can cut. Oh, we'll take a 0% and take a cap. This is what it means for your family. Okay. So this is employee with family. That's employee only. And the idea of that cap is that anything, any additional increase in health premiums, instead of district picking up that cap, you will as an individual with the if you have enrolled in our district's health plan. Okay, so looking at a family next year, you can be paying close to $2,000 more. The following year and the following year, this is an ongoing pay cut. Okay, and so for my family, I'm looking at employees plus children right here, and there's my wife right there. So in 3 years, we could be losing what, over $10,000 in terms of income and health insurance. This is what we're fighting for and fighting against. Okay, so of course we have refused a regressive refers a regressive counteroffer from our district. Okay, the district declared impasse on us. Okay, and we didn't declare impasse with them. We said you got to do this alone. Per the Public Employee Relations Board looked at the history of our negotiation for the last 2 years, and they basically directed the district team to go back to the bargaining table because they haven't really been talking about numbers. We haven't talked about numbers until really this year, and after 2 times, we dropped from a request for 3% increase in salary for last year, this year retroactive. We verbally agreed for a 0% increase in salary. So the way I see is that let's say our starting point was $6 million. We have moved down by taking a 0, by verbally agreeing to have a 0% increase for 16-17. We have met them halfway. Okay, and they came back with what? 0. And the next meeting, we drop a little bit, and guess what? They went down. Okay, and so that's what's going on right now. So why did OUSD declare impasse? Well, here's the idea, the concept of power. Okay, they do not believe we have the power to organize a strike. That's basically it. Okay? And so look at this. This is the couple board meetings ago. We have over 500 individuals attending the meeting itself. The day after bargaining, this is on a Thursday. Jen did not organize it. Specific sites wore black to basically voice their sadness in terms of what's going on. And the following day on a Friday, all of us got our email to wear black. To wear black. This is basically from a grassroots effort. A couple Saturdays ago, the district wanted to increase sub-pay. A lot of you guys were involved in this. With less than 24-hour notice, over 275 individuals show up to support and to fight against that, support the teachers, and to fight against that in sub-pay. Okay. Now, where are we on bargaining? We were at impasse. We got knocked down. This whole process, it goes to impasse, it goes to mediation, fact-finding, and then after fact-finding has been exhausted, then at that point we can actually strike. Now the idea that this can take a few weeks, 6-7 weeks, all the way to a few months or even more. Okay. So there are 2 distinct phases. Okay. Once we have declared impasse, or they have declared impasse, or we join them in that, it goes to mediation. Okay. And the state will basically send a mediator to our negotiation table to meet the teams. Okay. And I have a feeling if the district, based on the emails that our district's been sending out, there's no ground for movement, they're going to call impasse on us. And the mediator is going to come in, they want to impose their offer on us, right? Okay. They're going to let this mediation can take 1 day. They can just tell the mediators, like, no, there's no way you can make us move. Okay. And if the mediator feels exactly the same way, he or she can certify this process through fact-finding. And within 30 days, they have a report to either rule in favor of our union or the district itself. Now, understand this entire process is non-binding, it's simply their advisory. Okay. So after fact-finding, the district was free to impose its 0% salary increase as well as the cap on the district health insurance contribution. Okay. We have 2 choices at this time. We can accept their offer, okay, or we reject their offer. Okay? And when we reject their offer, it's meaning a strike. Okay? So why not just accept their offer? Okay? Of that 0%, that cap on the health insurance? Well, here's the thing. If we do that, we don't strike, just accept their offer, that'll be end of collective bargaining. Yes, I've taught them that they can simply stonewall us every single time, And then since we don't have the ability to strike, they'll get us way every single time. Okay? And that's what we're trying to avoid. Now, so when we reject their offer, okay, imposed offer, we could then legally authorize a strike. Okay? And at that point, perhaps during the mediation phase is where we're going to have a strike vote to see where we are in terms of our ability to basically organize as well as mobilize. Yeah. Now, I'm not asking you guys to strike. I don't want to strike. Understand that. So this is the difference. No one, I don't think anyone in this room wants to strike. Okay? So the best way to avoid a strike is basically be ready for it. That's what I'm asking you guys to do, to show the district that we are ready to strike if needed. Okay? Does that make sense to you guys? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So, and we know there are some members, you're on single income, you're a brand new teacher with the house payment, student loan, kids and things like that. They're saying, well, we don't get paid during the strike. I can't afford a strike. There's no way. Well, the idea is that if you cannot afford a strike, then you cannot afford a pay cut either. Okay? And so he's looking at this as a percentage in terms of what's going on, a percentage of salary. I'm using those three salary numbers. $50,000 is about the top tier of an entry-level teacher with a master's degree to a USD. $80,000 is about at the average salary, and $97,000 is where we top out in our salary. Okay, and so look at where you are right now. Okay, and then in that spectrum, for a beginning teacher, if we accept this, or that the district impose this cap on health insurance, you could be looking at, if you're a beginning teacher with a family, you can be looking at in 3 years a 12% pay cut. Okay, a family, okay, an individual who's been teaching here for over 22 years, you're looking at a 6% pay cut. As a young teacher, this, because you make less, okay, this cap is actually it's going to hurt you even more. So the question is always this: if not now, when? If not us, who's going to fight for us? Okay. So now a lot of individuals saying, let's get the community involved in things like that, right? Let's get the parents behind us. That's our Oceanside community. No, well, no. Okay, focusing on us. The parents that's going to be supportive. They always will be supportive. Okay, the parents are thinking that teachers make too much. There's no way you can convince them how difficult our job is. Okay, so what's standing between us and the settled contract? It's actually us. Okay. Next step, you guys should have you done this yet, Debbie?
Yeah, we're
okay.
There.
So the idea is that there's about 10 sites, a little bit more, and then they're gradually, I believe there's a meeting tonight as well, and we should have more sites joining in, that we have a site action team develop. Okay. In my site, there's 3 captains, and then they're subdivided into different categories by buildings. And so the goal is that one person is in charge of 5 to 6 individuals, and the goal is if Jen tells us, let's be at this position in 30 minutes after school, all of us, someone's going to contact all those teachers, and we're going to be there. When Jen tells us to go left, we go left, and the Jen's tells us to go right, we go right, to show that we are all united. Okay? I am asking you guys to work harder in this effort to organize and to mobilize, because the idea is that we need to, in order to show the district that we're united, in order to avoid what? The strike itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So pace ourselves. This is going to be a long haul. It's not, and I know it's a lot of us is that we hold our sign within the board, and we want to see that the instant effect. It's not going to be like that, but it's systematically show the district that we are together. We're going to endure this. Okay? And of course, always stay tuned for all the messaging from Jen or Debbie. Okay? If you haven't signed up for Remind, that's a really good way. All of us have a smartphone now. Text @OTAMEM to A1010 or that phone number. That works. If you have your cell phone, you haven't done that, get your cell phone, and then that's one of the easiest way for us to get information out right away. And it'll be a simple message or a link for you guys to open. Okay. I survived without customer.